Hi, my name is Paul McEwen and I'm co-owner of Iceepak Australia, and today I'd like to talk to you about utilising our Sof-Pac bags for the transportation and storage of vaccines. First of all, before we go into the Sof-Pac bags and the ice blankets, I'd just like to do a little bit of discussion about the difference between heat and cold. Well, obviously we all know hot's hot, cold's cold, but how does that best used when using our Sof-Pac bags? Well, heat radiates, heat seeks out cold, cold sits there, it doesn't radiate, it just keeps itself cold and nothing around it. So within the bag there's a few things that are important that you must remember when packing your vaccines within the bag. First of all, when you are putting the vaccines in, you need to layer the ice blankets within the bag so that you have vaccines, ice blankets, vaccines, ice blankets, vaccines, ice blankets, depending on how high the bag is, how big the boxes are, etc., etc. This, for one, allows you to only open up and get what you need without disturbing the chill further down in the bag. The more you move the air around within the bag or esky, the more things will warm up quicker. So think of these as they are called, flexible ice blankets. These are blankets which stop the heat from getting to your vaccines. These become sacrificial to the heat. These will absorb the heat coming into the bag before they get to the vaccines. So whatever temperature the vaccines are put into the esky, they will stay at that temperature until such time as these ice blankets go from being frozen at zero and start to warm up to a point where they're actually warmer than the vaccines, and then they will start to transfer temperature at that point. But at that stage you're probably looking at well over a day's worth of immunisation. So the other thing you should know is with cold being it doesn't radiate, that's about the shape and size of a blue ice brick. There's a smaller one, just to give you an idea. When you put that in the bag, it's good at keeping itself cold, but that's about it. You get cold dropping down from there, but if anything over here, it's going to get a lot warmer. Heat seeks out cold, whether it be an ice brick or vaccines. It doesn't know the difference. And the same with the gel packs. Now, as you know, with the gel packs and the ice bricks, you have to sweat them for at least an hour to warm them up because they're too cold. That's mainly because they have antifreeze in them and they draw down to -18 or whatever temperature your freezer is in. Whereas with the ice blankets, they're a nylon film, so they're food grade nylon film. Inside that is just water, so it only freezes at zero and stays at zero. So when you pull them out of the freezer, they can be put straight into the esky with the vaccines and away you go. You don't have to wait around for an hour. So you're saving yourself quite a bit of time. We have nurses and clinics all over Australia that do this and never ever have a problem with the temperature in that situation. Now again, the other thing you should notice about the ice blankets is the shape and size of the cells. Approximately 3 centimetres by 8 centimetres, and the reason why they are that shape and size is weight for ratio. Weight for ratio of chill. Now, what does that mean? Okay, the easiest way for me to explain it is if you have a cup of soup, you've put it in the freezer, decide to have some hot soup for lunch, pull it out, put it in the microwave, heat it up, take it out, soup on the outside of the cup's boiling hot and in the middle it's still frozen. Well, that's a very good example of weight for ratio, which is very poor. You have a weight outside of it's really hot and in the middle it's still frozen. Well, you're not getting the full benefit of all that chill, are you? With these cells, that shape and size they are, that's the best weight for ratio of chill you can get. If there is a crystal of ice in the cell, that cell in total will be still at zero. So you're getting effectively for the size and shape and the spread. And that's the big thing. You want to have spread of chill, not just have it all in one big chunk over here, because that's not really helping out this side of the bag. You've got to have it spread out. So you layer these ice blankets, whatever shape they may be. You can have them that large, or you can cut them whatever shape and size you want. So very important to layer those within the bag, and they will absorb the heat instead of that heat going into your vaccines, which is not what you want. The other important thing that we have with the bags, and we'll start talking about the bags now, is the reason they're silver is that silver reflects up to 80% of the radiated heat, which is i.e. the sun. So the more heat that you can reflect away from the bag, the longer the bag will stay cooler inside without absorbing all that radiated heat. We also only have Velcro on the bags instead of zips or clips. The Velcro will last the life of the bag. We've never ever had a bag yet where the Velcro is let go and gone wrong. If you ever do, just let us know and we'll sort it out for you. So this shelf, insulated shelf, just the same as the bag. If you're going to 2 different places for the day, ideally what you would do on the bottom of the bag, you would put the second half of the day, ice blanket, 2, depending on what the temperature on the day is going to be. Obviously the hotter it's going to be on the day, you need a little bit more ice blankets to keep the chill. Put the shelf on top, and I'll just slide this over here so we can see a little bit more clearly what I'm talking about. As you know, a lot of you would be using the Tupperware containers to put your vaccines in. Some just leave them in the cardboard boxes they come in, doesn't really matter. You would put your ice blanket on top. Obviously in this situation you probably have a bit more than that. And then you put the shelf in, and as you can see it's a snug fit. There's no way air can get through, or the ambient temperature. That'll stay quite cold, basically the same temperature it was put in at with the vaccines until such time as you decide you need to get to it. So if you're going to 2 places, obviously that on the bottom there stays there until the afternoon. What you're working on at the moment is on top, and that stays there. And again, you would just have your ice blankets sitting on top of your vaccines there, and then when you need it, you pull it up, grab one out, and then put that back. Because again, you want to have the blanket covering the whole opening of the area to absorb any heat getting there. The less movement of air that you have going around inside the bag, the cooler the product will stay for longer. Now, getting back to the other things about the bag, you do have on top a plastic sleeve there, which the one we've just got here, where you can put your notes, etc. in there. Again, all Velcro, so self-sealing, that's it, that's all you have to do. We have flaps that go on the inside, so the front and the side, and then you have obviously the flaps on the outside, on the sides, and the front. So even when it's half closed, that is a seal. You're not going to get any temperature transference through the opening of the bag. And the reason why we use Velcro is it's just easy. 2 fingers either side, opens up, and then when it closes, even there, you just go tap and it's done, that's sealed. We do have shoulder straps that go with the smaller bag, so you can put clips on either side there and throw it over your shoulder with the strap. The bigger ones obviously a bit unwieldy to be used in a strap. Most of the nurses have trolleys which they do put them on. Now I think that's just about it. I'll have a bit more of a think and get back to you. Now we have various different sizes of Sof-Pac bags. This one's the 9. We have a 7, as you can see, a little bit shorter in height, a little bit longer and a little bit wider. We then have this one here, which is the 24, which is a very popular size with a lot of the immunisation departments. And we also have smaller ones again, the 05, which is very good for just going out and about for a couple of people to see where you have to give immunisations. This one's a very popular one as well. Again, we have another one which is long and narrow, and then we have the big one here, which will take me a second to grab. And this is the 62. We use a lot of these. We'll sell a lot of these where they're wanting to store the vaccines if they have a power failure or they're having such a big run where they need something big. As you can see, all of them different shapes and sizes depending on what your requirements are. So again, if you have any questions on any of those, feel free to give us a call. Okay, so we'll just wrap up now on the benefits of the Sof-Pac bag. Lightweight, very good at insulating, unique style of insulation that we use, so not as bulky as a lot of the other eskies that you might be using. Easy to handle, easy to open and close. In conjunction with our flexible ice blankets, maintains a very even and stable temperature within the bag. The other important thing is we do offer a no obligation free trial with all of our Sof-Pac bags, and we do also offer to give you names and phone numbers of other nurses and clinics that are using our Sof-Pac bags, so you can actually ring and speak to them direct and talk the same language as they do and ask all the questions about how the bags are working for them. We are happy to supply these numbers and the people that you would be talking to are happy to discuss it. We have nothing to hide, and we are very upfront with what we say about our bags. Proof is in the pudding. We offer free trials. There's not many other places out there that would even remotely contemplate something like that. So if you have any more questions about how to use these bags, please don't hesitate to give us a call. Phone number there is on the website, and hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.